welcome. I'm Katie and this is a Fountain Pen Awakening. I hope that wherever you are in the world you're doing super well. I'm fantastic. I've got a few days off leading up to Easter. I'm going to take advantage of them to get some filming done, to get some content out there. I've been a bit lackluster at the moment, haven't been really inspired to do much. I've just been busy, with work, and I'm a bit exhausted, and you know how life gets in the way. But having said that, I hope you're all doing well wherever you are, and looking forward to spending some time with your loved ones over the break. It's coming up. I don't know who celebrates and who does not, but regardless of if you do celebrate Easter or not, it is an occasion to be with family and friends and go on holidays and just have a few days off, I guess. So if any of you have actually watched some of my videos, so for my old friends, welcome back, and for new viewers, welcome to my channel. For those of you who have watched my videos previously, I did say that I wanted to try some PenBBS inks because of this pen. When I got this pen at the start of the year, I selected this ink, which I really love, the Emperor Kwanlong or Chanlong. I don't know how to pronounce it. I really liked it. I like the combo, so I wanted to try some other PenBBS. So this is what I've got. These ink samples arrived yesterday, so I'm just going to swatch them up, both on Rhodia paper and on my Tamoe River paper. I've also done the little swatch cards from Wearingul, so I've prepared those. So I'm just going to swatch them up really quickly. I might speed it up on Rhodia paper, and then I'll come back to you with some comparisons and with my thoughts. All right. Hello everyone, it's finally sunny day in Queensland. It's been like 4 days of overcast and it's been rainy and miserable, and when I was filming yesterday and I was doing my swatching, the paper was actually damp. So I feel that maybe with that dampness in the air, it might have affected the colors. I don't know. But I thought that I would film outside today with the sun so we can actually see the true colors of the inks, because I feel that when we don't film in natural light, you can't get the whole scope of the tonality in the inks, and obviously they are quite different from paper to paper. But yeah, I forgot to mention that yesterday, that was affecting my paper, and it was real, my paper was quite damp, and affecting also the writing. It was kind of like making it more blobby than usual, which is super interesting. Obviously on the Rhodia paper it's a little bit drier and less blobby, but still the paper was super damp. And also, sorry, but I kept on saying PenBBS instead of PenBBS inks at the start of my video, so excuse me with that. I was just excited to get that started. And then obviously I've got my little Wearingul swatch cards that I've done as well. All right, let me get set up for success and then we will talk it through. Okay, so here we are. So that's the Tamoe River paper on this side, and this is my Rhodia paper, and we can already see differences. I find on Rhodia paper it's a little bit more lackluster as opposed to the colors that we get and the more kind of tonalities that come through and the shading that comes through on the Tamoe River paper. So the Ruijin City it's kind of like a mushroom color, I guess. I thought it looked a little bit more greeny, but has a lot of sort of a dove grey, so warm grey, and then it has this sort of dark overlay to it with a black shading there. This here, it reminds me a bit I mean, it's like a sort of a dove grey, isn't it? Beigey colour. It does remind me a bit of Stone Road to Guion, which is the oh my god, Akio Iro ink. As you can see the difference here between that sort of dove grey coming out and that sort of being just a full-on grey brown there. The Mung Bean looks a little bit more interesting here. You've got more sort of pinky coming out as opposed to this one. This is a really nice colour. This is kind of like a mauve, a very light mauve, lilac, I guess. And here it looks a little bit more pinky. Ruijin City, it's kind of more of a terracotta pink here. Here it's got more orangey tones. Interesting, isn't it? And then this pink here is Yanji, or Yanji, and it looks sort of more popsicle pink here, and it looks a little bit more duller here. It kind of reminds me of Tono and Lim's Who Are You? And then when we flip it over, Awaken from Hibernation sort of looks very dark, or a bit darker here, like this sort of more hot pink here and more flamingo pink here. And then we have, this is a really interesting ink, this one here, Studio Ink 273. It's sort of like this, here it's got like a pink to it with these beautiful, I don't even know what to call them, what color, beigey, kind of like shading in there. It kind of looks like a chroma shading ink. And here it's a little bit, it's still, you still get that yellow coming through, but not that sort of pink. Can you see that? I really like this ink. And then we've got the Moonman ink, which I find is really interesting. It kind of feels like it's a chroma shader too. It's sort of got this beige yellow coming through. I also got sent a little tiny sample of another Moonman ink, which was Jade Pipes, which is kind of like an aqua color, which I really liked. And this is it on this paper here. It still has that sort of beigey, pinky, yellowy kind of background coming through. Now don't ignore those two. Those are different inks that I've added onto this page because I had some space. So yeah, very interesting differences there. Sorry if the camera is shaking. And when I'm talking about Tono and Limbs, this is sort of the color that I don't want my pinks to be, if that makes sense. So I've been on a sort of a pink exploration. That's the Tono and Limbs Who Are You? And I feel that these two here, that could be like a match for it. And that's like more of a dusky kind of pink, more like Bouquet d'Antan from Jahaban. And yeah, that's more kind of that color, and that's kind of like a pink that I don't really like. I don't know why. And then let me just grab, so this is the Tamoe River paper, the thicker one that I usually do my swatches on. And let me just see, so they've got a Lady Rose there. I just wanted to see, yeah, it could be similar to this Zhimo with that sort of pinkiness there. And then the Ferris Wheel Press Mung Bean could look a little bit like the Oyster Hour. And then I wanted to have a look at, see, this is the Winter Ink Violet and Dominant Industry Evening. And that could sort of be similar to the Moonman. They're a little bit lighter though. And here we go. That's the Fuji Sugata, could be similar to the Fuji Sugata, and that's the Winter Mascara. That was kind of like really hard to write with. Yeah, this is kind of more like a pinky color. Interesting. And then another one that I wanted to look at was, don't know if I have it in here. Okay, the Kookaburra crest. That's very dark. So I thought it'd be similar to those two, but it's not. And here, Stone Road of Gion. See how it's got those kind of light beiges in there? That kind of have a little bit of that undertone in there. Then the other one that I wanted to look at was the Bouquet d'Anton, which is, yeah, it's more pinky than that one, isn't it? It might be a little bit more. No, that's a bright. That's a different pink altogether. And the last one that I wanted to check out was, we look at the Fuji Sugata. That's viola, how it used to be. It's turned blue now. But yeah, no. Let me have a look in here. Yeah, that's the Tono and Limbs kind of pink when you write with it. Here it is, Fuji Sugata, that color there. It could be similar. I feel like that's a little bit darker though than that one. Yeah, and that's the Lady Rose in a writing sample there. So that Zhimo could possibly be very similar to Lady Rose. And whereas this could be sort of looking a bit like more like Oyster Hour for reference to you guys. There you have it. These are my new inks. PenBBS ink study. Excuse me if I've added those Robert Oster ones down there, but I just wanted to add those in to use up those bottles because I do keep these as references. For you who are curious, this is a printed ink bottle on the page. I've got an A4 sheet of Tamoe River paper, the 52 GSM, and I just print those bottles onto it. And then I've got the A4 notepad with the Rhodia paper, which I print onto, but for some reason this seems to be smaller than this page. So I can't get these two ink bottles on that page, unfortunately. And that's why I put these two colours on, and I didn't put them on there. Now, just to show you if you're curious, this is Robert Oster Aqua, and this is Robert Oster Turquoise. I just wanted to try them out to see what the differences were. Sorry about the noise, got traffic going past. I just wanted to test out which one worked better in this pen, because I had Opera Rose in here, Teranishi, and then I had my other orange ink, was my Ink Studio 573. And I also tried my Copper Patina from Troublemaker, which is kind of like my shimmer ink. So I just wanted to give these colours a go in this pen to see how they worked out. So that's why those are there. But I wanted to sort of do an ink study on PenBBS, and then I just accidentally did get a couple of more inks, which were my Sailor Ink Studio 273, which I wanted to test out, the Moonman Clear Dream, and these two as well. So those are those, and then obviously I do have my swatches, and it's very much more interesting, the Ruijin City swatch on my Wearingul. And so is the Mung Bean. See the sailor, how cool that sailor colour is. And also this Zhimo. They just look very interesting on the Wearingul paper. That's a Yanji. That's a Ruijin City. See how different that looks, more pink. That's like really bright on here. That's the Moonman, and those are my Robert Oster ones. So very interesting differences that you can see, especially in those ones. The Mung Bean as opposed to the Mung Bean here. And then this very complex colour here, which has got a bit of everything in it, as opposed to how it kind of shows up here and how it shows up here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was a study on PenBBS inks, as I said I was going to do. I ended up having a few more extra inks in there. But hey, that's just because I hadn't bought inks for a long time and I wanted to, you know, check some out. All right. Enough rambling. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Let me know what your favorite colors are. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have PenBBS inks? How do you like them? I find sort of that some do have a lot of shading in them, some don't. So I'm looking forward putting them into pens, and you will probably see these inks in action when I do my next calendar ink video. And until then, happy Easter everyone. Ciao, Andy.